What a beautiful morning to do some electrical work. The thing is, I need a ladder. Oh, there's a ladder. It looks nice and good. I'll use it to do my electrical work. Oh yeah. Oh no. Oh, the ladder is. Oh no. I'm injured. What am I gonna do now? I should have been more careful with the ladder and not gone on workman's comp. How am I gonna pay for my family to eat? I'll be off work for a year. Uh. That was pretty tragic, I know, and not something you want to have happen to yourself or any of the guys on your job. But the reality is that around 500,000 Americans a year get treated for ladder injuries, and sadly, about 300 of them actually die. So, you may think that it's the tall ladders, it's the 20, 30, 40 foot up ladders, but the reality is that it's actually more like the 10 foot and under ladders. So that's why, in that sad example, the poor chap was carrying a 6 foot ladder. And the 6 foot ladder is actually one of the most dangerous ladders you can actually climb on. So these are the rules for the step ladder on your truck. OSHA covers ladders in 29 CFR blah blah blah, and there's 5 things that matter most on a 6 foot ladder. Number 1, you have to make sure that it's completely open. Don't have it half open. Number 2, do not stand on the very top. If you stand on the very top, then your head is actually 12 feet above the ground if you're 6 feet tall. And if you fall from that, then that's a bad day right there. Number 3 is you should have 3 points of contact. So you always need to keep your belt buckle in between the rails. Make sure 2 feet are always firmly on the ladder. If you have to lean out, you need to move your ladder. And that's just the way it is. Also, you want to check the duty rating on ladders. They actually say on them if they're rated for 250 pounds or 300 pounds, and by the time you have a tool belt on or maybe even carrying a roll of wire, you are going to actually be getting kind of heavy if you're a hefty sort of guy already. So be sure you keep that in mind. It's not like the ladder is going to necessarily collapse out from underneath you, but still, there is an actual rating on these ladders, and we need to be aware of what that rating is. And so before you get on a ladder, be sure that you inspect it. I've seen ladders with 2x4s screwed to them. I've seen ladders that are held together with carriage bolts. The reality is that ladders are expensive, and people try to fix them to save a little bit of money. But in doing that, it's possible that you might actually be causing a bigger problem down the road. So the hazard doesn't shrink with the ladder. Every one of the rules I just mentioned are aimed at the same thing. They're aimed at this feeling like that 6 foot ladder is too short to even care about it. So the hazard doesn't shrink with the ladder, but usually your caution does. So this is about being aware of your environment. Being an electrician is a thinking game, and a lot of it has to do with environmental awareness. Is the floor slick? Is it greasy? We have had a serious ladder injury in our company where a guy was on an extension ladder and he was strapping down conduit, and he moved the ladder, went up, strapped conduit, went down, moved the ladder, went up, strapped conduit, went down. Well, when he got to his last piece of strap and he went up the ladder went out from underneath him, and he was off work for a year. So that's a pretty bad thing. The rules exist because the numbers say that the short ladder is the one that causes the most problem. I'm only up here for a minute. Those are the dangerous moments. We have to always be thinking. So really, you need to make sure that you're asking for the right ladder. If you got some guy named George on your job site and he's a foot short of a junction box, and George being George, he spotted 3 creative fixes, and so he decides he wants to stand on the very top cap and lean out to try to reach that junction box. The reality is he could actually go to the truck and get an 8-foot ladder and do the same job and be a whole lot safer. And so we need to think about these things when we're actually out and about. If you go out to the truck, get an 8-foot ladder, and go back and do it, it's one of those things where you are quantifying and creating quality for the thing that doesn't happen. And that's where it's hard to measure stuff like this. But if you go an entire year, 2 years, or 5 years without a ladder injury, then Perhaps you've got good skills and you're doing things correctly. So just bear that in mind. Use the right ladder for the right job. Really, it's the cheapest 2 minutes of the job. So if you're up there, most falls don't start at the feet. They start in the head the moment you decide that you are the exception. I've been told off for doing silly things on ladders, stepping from one ladder to another. I've probably done most of the things that we probably shouldn't do on ladders. But there have been times where I felt like I've gotten close to falling off, or the ladder buckles underneath me when I'm working on a hot wire because it's not set just right on the floor. Things like that. So falls start first and foremost in your head. You are making your decisions. It's your safety. You're the one on the ladder. There's no shame in climbing down, repositioning your ladder, getting a bigger one, whatever. Do what needs to be done to make sure you're safe. Those 2 minutes are well spent. So this is our ladder safety lesson. If you enjoyed this, click below in the comments. You'll see a comment there for you signing up for the newsletter that covers safety issues every week and codebook classes every other week. Not every week, every month. You will get a bi-weekly newsletter that every other week it's either going to be codebook or safety. These are the kind of things that you can use on the job with your crew, with your guys. Share it with your friends. Make sure that everybody is up to date on safety stuff. You'll get it. It's there. Use it. 5 minutes. You're done. That's your safety lesson. It keeps you refreshed. It keeps you aware. It keeps you sharp. What a beautiful day to do some work. Oh, look, I need a ladder to do my work. I'm going to be wise with my ladder, and I'm going to set it up just right so that it's fully open. I'm never standing too high on it, and always making sure it's on firm footing. Yes, I'm going to do that because that's what a wise electrician does.